Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a Monkey in the Morning breaking news update thing. Something. Hi, guys. Just popping on because, we had the big news break just a little while ago and we got to talk about it. But before then, hope your Monday is going well. Hope everybody's having a good time. Hope that you slept well. You've been getting your crotch rubbed by people that you want rubbing your crotch. Man, we knew it was coming. Bernie Sanders had to come out and support Joe Biden, and he's done so now. He's asked all Democrats, all independents, and all Republicans to support Joe Biden. Because there's nothing more important than the party coming together and backing a guy who doesn't even know he's in the race still. That's the most important thing you can do to help your party and help your country. Look, guys, I'm just saying that if you're going to support somebody who believes in grabbing people by the pussy, go with the one who's actually done it and not the one who's only made jokes about it. It's just I've read a lot of the thread about this. The people who are like, yes, it's so great that he's done this. And there's several of them who are not happy with Bernie, because of course they're not happy with Bernie. And they thought he was going to be a man about this and not be cucked by the DNC again. And if you don't think cucked is the right word here, he absolutely stood by and watched as Hillary fucked the election when he wanted to be the one fucking the election. So cucked is actually the right word here. And we're going to see it again. We're going to see it again with this election here. Joe's going to likely fuck it up unless the media can give him a good boost here. That says, I missed him endorsing Biden. He did. It was just a little while ago, about an hour and a half ago, that this breaking news. Circa Zero, thank you so much. Hashtag no refunds. Yeah, and when he says that, guys, he's not talking about donation policy, although that is my policy, but he's talking about the no refunds Bernie thing. Man, lots of people threw money at Bernie. Lots of individual donors tossed their money at Bernie because they believe in him above all else, you guys. He's not like the others. He would never sell out. But yeah, the hashtag trending earlier was good for Bernie. Good for Bernie. And we're going to take just a moment, just a little moment. I don't want to watch the whole thing. Where's the Hill? Damn it. Is this the Hill clip? There's like a 30-minute conversation thing that goes on, but the Hill has the short version of Bernie Sanders jumping into the corner of Joe Biden. And if I can find it, we'll watch it. Here it is. Let's move this over here. Bring this up. Hang on, I'm going to make that bigger. There we are. Need the producer. I'm not sure how this is going to look on the screen because now, oh, that's weird. Oh well, it'll work. All right, guys. Do I have my volume all the way up? I do. Here we go. This is part of the announcement. Until I hit the wrong button because I don't have a producer. Good God, Frank, what are you doing today?
Bernie, I want to thank you for that. It's a big deal. I think that your endorsement means a great deal. It means a great deal to me. I think people are going to be surprised that we are apart on some issues, but we're awfully close on a whole bunch of others. And I think you've made. If I am the nominee, which it looks like now you just made me, I'm going to need you, not just to win the campaign, but to govern.
Now, is that not a scary sounding presidential candidate? I'm going to need you. Shit. Does this mean I'm actually the nominee now? Am I the one that's going to have to be? Oof. This is all on me now. Uh-oh. And here's the Bernie side of the conversation. Yeah, and I really did think I was showing you this one first. I messed them up. Those are supposed to be in the opposite order so you guys could get this first and then see what happened.
are feeling. So today I am asking all Americans, I'm asking every Democrat, I'm asking every independent, I'm asking a lot of Republicans to come together in this campaign to support your candidacy, which I endorse, to make certain that we defeat somebody who I believe, and I'm speaking just for myself now, is the most dangerous president in the modern history of this country, are feeling.
Yep. So they're coming together. You got Batman and Robin here. What is it? What is it over on SpongeBob? The two really old guys, Fishman and Barnacle Boy. Is that what it is? I forget it. But they're two senile old fucking weirdos. Didn't the last person Bernie endorsed turn it down? Well, I don't know if that was necessarily the last person, Krill, but I'm assuming you're talking about Cenk Uygur, who he's like, look, I don't need you to endorse me because you know you don't want to be associated with somebody who believes that jerking off animals is okay. Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, that's what it is. Fishman. I don't know why I said Fishman, but Mermaid Man's not that far from Fishman. Give me a break on that one. It's been a long time since I watched SpongeBob. But I mean, look at how fucking old they are. They're the two old guys from the Muppets. Yeah, John, they look just like that. They look like they should be up in the balcony throwing down quips now and then about how stupid people are. Instead, evil. Yeah, evil. I'm not sure which is which. I mean, I guess Bernie seems a little more coherent. So, oh God, now we need those two together. We need somebody to do that. Maybe I'll do that later if I remember to. Hey, Jack, how you doing, man?
Good. How you doing?
Just here killing a little bit of time talking about Bernie Sanders and his endorsement of Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Wasn't it a month ago he was talking about how dumb Biden was?
Yeah.
He didn't understand what needed to be done.
Well, you know, when you fold like a cheap suit, you really fold.
Oh man, I feel bad for the true believers because this has got to be they're out there. They are consoling themselves with this notion, Jack. I don't know if you know this, but the DNC made everybody who ran this time agree to support in writing. They had to sign it, agree to support whoever the nominee is. Yeah, so look, he had to do it. He had to do it, or what? They were gonna fucking sue him over it.
It wouldn't surprise me if they actually did try and sue him.
Oh, me neither. June is in a corner. Did she just put out a video? I'll have to watch because yeah, I'm going to enjoy this as a shithead who likes watching people melt down. I'm not gonna lie. I'm real quick. Pumpkin Trucker Matt, thank you so much. Great. The Party of Diversity, aka Not White Men, is headed by Statler and Waldorf. Yeah, they really are. It would be great if he asked Bernie to be his VP. He's not going to because he promised it's going to be a woman, but that would be awesome. Roger says, did Warren ever say who she endorsed? No, but if Biden is the nominee now and Bernie's basically officially thrown all of his weight behind Biden, I mean, there's only one left. And as the Bernie bros are telling us, you have to endorse whoever the party nominee is. You have to support them.
Yeah, that's a dumb thing to agree to, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know what they were holding over their head if they didn't. I've heard about this contract, but I've never seen it. So
yeah, well, it's not surprising.
Well, I also wonder how much of a contract it was and how much of a kind of like a promissory thing is. Yeah, we'll do it, but like not legally binding in any way.
Yeah.
We'll do it. You don't have to. I just the part that made me laugh immediately when I saw this is Joe Biden is accused of grabbing a woman by the pussy. And again, I'll tell you guys, I don't believe the story, but that is the accusation. And if you're a #BelieveWomen kind of person, you have to believe her. They're still mad from audio leaked 3.5 years ago of Donald Trump saying he did that as a joke. But they're gonna be like, look, the guy who made the joke about it is the worst person in the world. The guy who supposedly did it, he's cool. He's really cool. I guess, I mean, you want to go with the guy who commits?
It's hard to. I don't know, man. This is all so stupid.
Oh, it's beautiful, though. It's beautiful. And like I said, the hashtag that I've seen, there's two of them. One is sorry Bernie and one is good for Bernie. And they're just beautiful. They're just beautiful. Joe and Bernie have been on the same page about so much since the beginning. Have they? Have they really? Because, I mean, it's hard to, isn't it hard to even point out what Biden's been on the record for?
Leg hair.
Yeah. Most of the time when they're having a debate and they're like, okay, this is happening. What do you think about it? Biden's answer was, when I worked for Obama, he put me in charge of that and I took care of it all myself. I mean, that was his answer literally for everything.
Zombie Teddy pointed out Bernie's kind of a bitch, so he could be Biden's VP.
That's true. I mean, this is the second time the DNC has made a complete bitch out of Bernie.
Yeah. Yeah. You'd think they were Black Lives Matter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did. I ran up and took his microphone from him.
Corn Pop for VP.
Corn Pop. The sad part is now Corn Pop is going to lose some prevalence because all the press is going to be about Bernie supporting him.
Yeah.
Good for Bernie, not Biden fanboy, but if the entirety of the land between myself and my polling place is made entirely of alternating mounds of hot lava, broken glass, and coronavirus medical waste, I'll be at the polls the second they open to get Trump the fuck out of office. So we're going full in on, and this is what Bernie said in his endorsement, is that we're going full in on this is the worst president ever in modern times, was Bernie's quote, but the worst president ever. I saw several people, we got to get rid of the most dangerous president ever. Like, until coronavirus, Jack, how are things going in the country?
Pretty fucking good.
Yeah, I mean, everybody was working. We weren't, the expected war with North Korea never happened.
The war in Syria never really took off.
And he pulled out and he was talking about pulling out of Afghanistan, which just get off the fucking pot and do, you little shithead. Anyway. Yes, I mean, things were looking pretty good. But now the most dangerous in modern times.
Well, I kind of see that from their perspective, that America succeeding is dangerous to them because they all hate the country and they thrive on the misery of the people. So this is sort of dangerous to them.
And I get that. I get what you're saying there, because their rhetoric only works if people are afraid of what's coming, of how horrible things are.
Yeah. We do need to worry about the national debt.
Oh,
but that's been being a problem for 30 years.
Press Bear says dangerous to a commie. That's a good thing. Yeah, that's basically what you were saying there, right, Jack?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Good thing. Piss them off. Fuck commies. Man, I can't imagine being one of these diehard Bernie supporters, especially the ones. I don't know if you remember at the beginning of the campaign, there were a lot of, we're not gonna allow what happened last time.
And they totally just did.
Bernie just completely cucked you guys with him.
Again.
How many people did Castro kill again? Well, look, check your logic. The only reason Castro had to kill those people. Look, he told them to read, and they read the wrong books. That is on them, not on him.
Yeah. Yeah, all those intellectuals and gays, they just didn't fall into line properly enough.
Should have been reading the right books, man. Should have been reading the right books. You don't get taught to read by communists and then go out there and read any kind of book that's not approved by the state.
Yeah, no shit.
Let's see. I can't wait for Elizabeth Warren to make her endorsement because she still hasn't, as at least last I heard. And nobody's going to care because at this point, she missed her window to be important.
Yeah, I really think they wanted her to be the nominee for the longest time.
Yeah, and well, whether you're talking about the press or the DNC, I agree with you there. I think they were because they wanted a woman.
Yeah, and she was an Indian woman.
Yeah, you fucker. Yes. From the tribe Lyaho.
Yeah.
Warren wants VP, but she's too old for Biden to sniff. Yeah. She wants VP because she's a power-hungry shitbag of a person. We talked about this a bit last night. Be very weary of anybody who desperately wants power. And she wants it so bad, she's willing to change her story mid-sentence.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Anybody that wants it that bad, man, definitely should never have it. Real quick on the Streamlabs. Thank you, Shiagrath. Patty's been stuck at home for 3 weeks now, wrapped in electrical tape. He's self-insulating.
Thank you. Fair enough. The Bernie bros, man. Do you think they're going to hurt themselves?
Some of them might. This is like a whole Kurt Cobain kind of rock star thing. I don't understand that level of adoration for a politician. Because you shouldn't trust politicians that much, first of all. And yeah, they seemed really, really diehard. I mean, those really super passionate ones are the ones that I think are going to be crushed by this, rocking themselves to sleep in a corner and being all sad and stuff. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if there's some depression issues that come out of this.
Pincalo, thank you so much for the sticker of the salt shaker. Indeed. Oh,
Nice.
There's going to be some salt. I know I probably shouldn't be this way, but I'm going to enjoy that. I really am, because there's so much of this that has been going on for so long. And like you said, I do not understand that kind of adoration for a politician. And we kind of see it a little bit with Trump as well. You know, that there's this diehard fan base of him. And I understand the cult of personality kind of thing. But these are politicians, man. And if you believe that all of their, I care about you, I just want to make sure you get in the breadline. It's nonsense. I think there's some of them who really do want to help. I think there's some of them who think that their ideas are good. But I never for a moment expect any of them to be perfectly in line with me. And the Bernie Bros are like the worst of the worst. They're like the K-pop fans of the political world.
Yeah, I would say they're actually probably a little worse, because at least K-pop fans occasionally talk about other things.
That's that's a fair assessment.
They're more like those Harry Potter weirdos that can't stop comparing everything to those fucking books. Like, dude, we get it. Okay, Bernie's your Harry Potter. We got it. Move on with your day.
Check Your Logic says Yang and Gabbard were both canceled by these diehard Sanders supporters. I don't think you can put Gabbard on the Bernie supporters. I think they mostly ignored her. They went after Warren really hard. They went. Go ahead.
I think they tried to get Gabbard, but yeah, Warren, they definitely went after her because she basically stole his entire platform.
Yeah, there was a time when it was like, she's the female Bernie, and nothing but, we're not the female. She's not the female Bernie. She sucks. She's a horrible person. Yeah, she still stole his whole fucking platform. She did walk back a little bit of it when she saw that it wasn't selling as well.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Gabbard, I mean, that was mostly just the press. I don't know that you can put that on the Bernie supporters as much. Not the way that they went after Warren, at least. Hang on one second. I have to type something. I hate when I have to type when I'm trying to talk. I'm not good at it, Jack.
I know the feeling. Yeah, I think there's probably going to be a lot of people that defect and just don't go out and vote. Or some of them might even go vote for Trump because they don't want to vote for Biden. So I don't know. I think there's going to be a lot of diehards of Bernies that don't join the Biden train.
I saw several people who were like, look, we hate this, but we're still going to go out and support Biden because Trump is the most horrible ever. I think you're right. I think there's going to be quite a few of them who are like, nah, fuck this. I'm not dealing with this crap. Real quick over on Streamlabs. Thank you, Dragon Mage, who says, true socialism just hasn't been tried. That's the only problem. All those capitalists always mess it up with their freedoms and choices. Yeah. No,
stupid freedom and choices. God, these people.
Matthew Hogue, hashtag walk away. Yeah, I've seen that before. I think there's a certain, when we talk about Bernie bros, that's not all Bernie supporters. There's two different classifications there. There's people who agreed with Bernie, but they're still Democrats and they will support the Democratic Party. And then there were the Bernie bros. These are the burn it down folks. These are the I want class warfare so that we can throw the czar in a basement and kill him and his family kind of people.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that that you guys understand we're talking about two different groups of people here. And the Bernie bros, these are the diehards. These are the diehards that didn't want him to drop out of the race in the first place, even though mathematically he was eliminated. He would have had to win everything here on out and take pretty much all delegates in the states to have a chance against Biden. And they're like, no, do it anyway. Go out on your sword. These are the NEETs LARPing. What's a NEET? Do you know what a NEET is?
I don't remember.
I didn't vote for Trump in 2016, and I'm seriously considering voting for him in the upcoming election. Well, it'll be interesting. I wonder how much COVID is actually going to help the Democrats here. And here's why. I've seen so many people, especially like right after the impeachment, were like, I didn't vote for Trump, but with all the shit they're doing to him, I'm going to vote for him. And I wonder, because of the press, I mean, right now they're still doing that to him, but it's more about COVID. I wonder if that anger is still building. But go ahead, Jack. I'm sorry.
Yeah, NEETs are unemployed people that aren't in school or in job training.
Oh, well, speaking of that, and that this is just weirdly connected, people started getting their government money today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What's that like? I want some.
I don't know. I'm going to have to wait for my check because despite us not being very well off at all, we pay in. So they don't have my direct deposit information. They kind of do because, we paid our taxes out of the bank account.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a direct deposit thing. So I'm going to have to wait for a check.
You're looking at August, man.
Probably. But there was a lot of people talking on the hashtag, what is it? Stimulus check, I think is the hashtag. And there's a couple of different groups of people. There's the group of people who got theirs. There's the group of people who didn't and are making all kinds of memes about me when I didn't get my check. And a couple of them are funny and most of them are just like, you tried too hard. And then there's the people who are like, if you had voted for Andrew Yang, you could have this all the time. Now, when they say that, they're talking about the money. You could have $1,000 every month or $2,000 if you're married, $4,000 if you have four. No, because it's still only adults, right? So yeah, only $2,000 if you're married. If you got 10 kids, you're still only getting $2,000. And like, okay, let's say you're right there. You could have got that if Andrew Yang got his version of, socialist nonsense. However, you'd also have the same economy we have right now. And how many of you are going to be able to live off just that $1,000?
Right?
Do you smell that? I smell bullshit. Well, it's what Andrew Yang ran on was the UBI. We need the UBI. But see, the whole point behind his UBI is that eventually we're getting to the point where we're not going to need people to do jobs. So we're going to have to give them money so that they can still survive. Well, we still have people who need the jobs right now. Everything's not automated the way that Andrew Yang is telling you it is. Because if he was, essential workers would be robots. And Matthew said, thank goodness I'm employed in essential. Yeah, I mean, they're people. And even the non-essential things are run by people.
They seem to overlook that because to them it's a statistic, not a person. And a lot of these people that they're from wealthy families, they don't have friends or relatives or anyone in their life that is a low-paid worker. Maybe skilled, maybe not, but who's considered non-essential. Come on, there's a lot of people hurting right now, and they need to figure this shit out.
But hey, Andrew Yang was if you voted for Andrew Yang, even though he wouldn't be sworn in as the 46th president until January, you'd start getting that $1,000 a month now, Jack. Michael says $2 trillion divided by the U.S. population is $7,500 for every man, woman, and child. The thing is, the $2 trillion didn't all go to the people. The vast majority of that is a loan program, supposedly to help businesses keep paying payroll and keep running. These are like low or no interest loans. They're going to have to pay it back, but it's supposedly to help people keep their jobs. Now, we've had an explosion in unemployment, and people talk, but the unemployment rate has gone up so much. Yeah, that doesn't necessarily mean those people don't have jobs to go back to. It just means they're not getting paid by that job right now. So they've either been laid off or technically fired and will be rehired later. And again, that doesn't mean it's going to be immediate. But I read an article real quick. Cryptic, thank you so much. I see old Bernie went back to his hole. No, he's going up Biden's hole right now. He's gonna go live up there for a little while. But I saw an article the other day. Thank you for the donation, Cryptic. I saw an article the other day. Why Germany doesn't have America's unemployment problem. And it's basically because in Germany, they do the same thing, except for you would still technically be working for your company and you would just be getting paid by the government for a while they didn't have work for you. And it was this thing about how much greater it is over there. I'm like, oh, you fucking assholes. I know people who go on unemployment every winter and they've worked for the same company for 20 years.
Yeah.
They get laid off when times get slow. And like, you fucking asshole, you're making a big deal out of this when it's basically the same thing. Stop it. Point curation, thank you. Next Bernie run. So what if I have 30 million? You just got to write a best-selling book or 3. Rudicus Prime, thank you. I'll be going back to work impound in about 8 weeks. I read a story from Chris Saliza today, like why there's 7 governors who haven't issued stay-at-home orders.
Probably because there's states like Wyoming where there's like no population. Your nearest neighbor's 5 miles away.
I think the biggest state that they talked about was Iowa, but all of the other ones are, let's see, it was North Dakota, South Dakota. You're right, Wyoming was one of them. They're all these really tiny states. And they did the same thing that I've been talking about. Like, you don't have to force people to stay home. Just ask them to.
Yeah.
And Germany's economy has been flat for 30 years, ergo a 10% unemployment rate. But no Asian research no, they're much better off than we are. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. And I know you're being serious there, but I had to be a smart ass about that because I was like, are you for fucking real? You're going to pretend that this isn't the same thing? Anyway. Yeah. these governors, not one of them, and Chris, here's why they're doing it. In each one of the cases, they all pretty much said the same thing. We'd like you to stay home. We're just not forcing anybody to. And in some of the cases, they had actually closed down some businesses. So they're kind of on it, but since they haven't specifically said it, like, oh, these are bad people. Oh, for fuck's sake. If you ask people, are there far less to defy you out of spite? Yeah. We're Americans, man. If you ask us, we'll be, sure, I'll help you out. You tell me I have to, and like, fuck you. How dare you?
Right?
Dare you speak to me that way? Seriously, there's a lot of chicken fucking in Iowa. Look it up. I'm gonna pass.
I'll take your word for it. I don't want to know. There's enough degenerate things we find out about on here.
I've been on the internet and I realize there's certain search terms you do not check out, especially like me if you have your search, your safe search turned off. So yeah, I'm with Jack on this. I'm going to take your word for it. When you tell somebody they can't do something, they'll do it because fuck you. Yeah, I mean it's part of the American psyche.
Yeah, Jimmy Heelis has a great point. People in Iowa are being told by New York City to stay 6 feet apart. Iowans are like, so we should get closer?
Well, the thing is, none of these states have massive outbreaks. You know why?
Because they already socially isolate, and there's not that many people.
There's small states where there's few and far between when it comes to people. Ranting Monkey and Jack, did y'all see that video of British police breaking down that guy's door? I did. I retweeted it last night.
It's been going around for a couple days, and quite honestly, that's one of the reasons we have the amendments we do for our Constitution, because the Brits, they don't have those rights that we do, and that's why the founders were like, no, you can't go in someone's house without a procedure being followed and everything being in order. That's the worst form of dictatorial nonsense. It's totally authoritarian just to wander into someone's house because they're suspected of having people over.
Yeah, according to the cop, it's hard to tell what they say because they have the thick accent.
Yeah.
Real quick, Stubberth, if it wasn't for COVID, my university counseling center would be full of crying students over Bernie again. Probably.
Yeah.
Thank you for the donation. Oh, do we need to have a color book drive for these kids?
Probably.
Don't forget to here. Oh, Jack, I got it. The We Think These Kids Should Have Coloring Book funds can be found over there on my Streamlabs if you'd like to support it. And the We Think They Should Have Color Crayons is over there on the Bad Comic Reviews Streamlabs.
Yeah, we just think they should have them. We're not actually going to get them for them.
Yeah, we're not giving them shit. Not giving them shit. But going back to that video, one, it was pointed out, Stargazer points out that they did not have masks or gloves on. And he's like, stay back. And it's not till the end he gets right in their faces.
Yeah.
But apparently somebody called to say that he was having people over. And he's like, what? I don't have anybody over. The fuck is wrong with you? And even
you don't need that whole procedure of getting a warrant and you can just bust down someone's door. That's the type of authoritarianism that we frowned upon during the revolution.
And we should still be frowning upon. But how many people, honestly, Jack, do you think there'd be people in this country that'd be like, yeah, that's okay? Because I think there would be. I think right now that you'd have some people that, the police should be able to go in and make sure that you're not having a large gathering.
That's frightening.
It is. One of the comments I saw quite often in the comments to that video was, this is what happens when you don't have an armed citizenry. I'm like, it is. But you got to remember those police, a lot of them don't carry. And I'm just trying to imagine that in an American situation, somebody would have died there.
Yeah. Well, the homeowner most likely would have been killed because it would have been a SWAT team busting down his door.
Yeah, over somebody having a party at their house.
Yeah, well, freedom of assembly, whether you like it in this situation or not, is still a right. And it might not be a good idea, but you still have a right.
But is it? I mean, we've had pastors thrown in jail for having church service.
I know, and I think that's a bunch of authoritarian bullshit, and there should be people going to jail over that, but sadly there won't be. It's just another erosion of our rights.
Yeah, and it's getting disturbing how many people seem to be okay with it.
That's because they're scared. When people are scared, they make bad decisions, and they don't think about the long-term consequences of it and how it can affect your life in other ways. And they think it'll only impact this one little incident that's affecting all of us right now, but they don't think of the larger ramifications of 2 years down the road when they're using this to go into your house for a random suspected wrong thing or something like that. It always broadens out, and it's never a good thing.
Danger says, don't forget the founding fathers said the rights were null and void if there was some sort of virus, right? Yeah, I've never read that in the Federalist Papers. Maybe I have to read them again.
Yeah. Over on the Streamlabs, thank you, Purple Pill Perspective. With supplies dwindling and no salvation in sight, have my last $5. Thanks for that. I appreciate it. And that's probably going to haunt me later. Thanks.
That's nice that it was for supplies. And remember, for the We Think Bernie supporters should have crayons fund, you can give to Jack. We're not giving them crayons. We just think,
we just think they should have crayons.
Thinking they should have them. I think they should have coloring books. Crayons come from the thinking of crayons comes from the Jack side.
He said, I'm essential. Don't worry. Well, I appreciate it still.
I do wonder how much of that $1,200 is. There were people whining that they don't have a way to go spend it because they're supposed to stay at home.
What, you don't have Amazon at your house? Walmart delivers. I
understand the idea behind the $1,200, but that was one of my first thoughts, and you guys can go back and listen to it. You're going to give a bunch of people money when they're supposed to be staying at home? Because yes, Amazon does deliver, Jack, but you know what they don't do? Give it to you right now.
Yeah. Well, a lot of Walmarts are not selling non-essential items anymore. The other big box stores doing the same thing because state orders. So you couldn't even buy a TV if you wanted to.
Tom of Golf City says, so save it for fuck's sake. I'm with you. I think there's some people on the hashtag over there that are like, I'm going to save half of it because I'm an adult. Like, well, do you need to spend the other half? Because if not, save all of it as an adult. So there's one guy, I wish this happened years ago. I'd just go blow it all on video games. But now I'm an adult and I'm going to save half of it. I'm like, what?
At least he's saving half, I guess.
Sure.
That's a start. But yeah, you could use it to pay your rent or something like some essential thing that you need, meds, a bill, whatever. But try and save as much as possible.
Don't worry, there's a light at the end of the tunnel, Ranting Monkey. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. I actually saw it was a tweet from some story. I didn't see where the story was from, but Governor Cuomo and I think it was 11 other states or 10 other states, they're getting together for a massive reopening. Like, if Donald Trump suggested something like that, you guys would be freaking out. Donald Trump wants to reopen stuff.
Yeah.
Eventually, everything does have to reopen. Eventually, we do have to take a chance with this virus.
Yeah, we don't have a choice. The economy will be crippled if we don't, and it's already looking rough, and we don't need a Great Depression.
Oh, I saw something today, Jack. We may need to alter what we've been saying. The thinking so far has been that one of the most dangerous things you could be doing right now is smoking.
Oh,
now,
yeah,
I'm not saying smoking is good for you, but there's research out that actually shows smokers have a lower hospital rate. And they think it's let me bring this up because I want to get the wording all right.
The virus can't get through all the tar?
Kind of. It's not exactly that, but kind of. Where's it at?
Real quick. Thank you, Lamented Guide, for the donation. Here's $2 so Bernie Bros can have some paste and glue. Good one.
Yeah, this was No, it's so that we think they should have pasting glue.
Yeah, and thank you, Cryptic. Was going to give this cash for the organization to help the deaf. My brother will be okay. He can't hear me anyways.
Ouch.
Thanks, Cryptic.
Cryptic has some of the best ones of those. You guys need to try to outdo him. That's all I'm saying. But Jim Healis sent this to me, and he said it in the tweet, looks like you're better off than previously thought. And it's data. Where's it at? Where's the one? What is it they think is being blocked? Nicotine lowers ACE2 expression. SARS-CoV-2 uses ACE2 for entry into target cells. So if this data is correct, nicotine, not smoking, but nicotine shrinks lowers the ACE2, the ACE2, and makes it harder for the virus to get in. And if that's true, I'm going to light another one. That would be very interesting. Can you imagine if the what's the word I'm looking for here? Antivirus for this is nicotine.
Well, then vaping will definitely come back in a big way.
Actually, it could be the methylized nicotine. Well, Michael, that's what I was getting at. But most people don't just take nicotine. Most people who get nicotine are doing so from smoking or vaping.
And we'll look so cool fighting the virus.
We will, man. But they're looking at all this stuff, and maybe, like, remember in China, like all these old people and mostly old men were dying, and maybe it's because they were chain smoking. Maybe it's because the ones that they were looking at were over 80.
That's a possibility, or that they had something else wrong with them, like alcoholism or some other drug abuse. You missed a super chat.
Oh, thank you, Drew W. Been smoking 15 years, hardly get sick. I'm not saying smoking is good for anybody. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, but if they know that nicotine helps, there might be a way to use that as a preventative thing. And, there's lots of stuff you can do with science. You don't actually have to encourage smoking. There might be something else they can, some other way they could deliver that will actually, in smaller doses, prove to be preventative or useful.
Well, there's also the fact that because some people are like, yay, we get to smoke again. And people are like, no, you just calm down. But the nicotine, for it to affect this way, can take a month or two, something like that. Again, guys, I'm not a scientist. I just threw the Twitter thread into chat if you guys want to check it out. And once again, I am not saying this is absolutely true. I'm saying this is some stuff that recent research has looked into and been like, this is weird. Why is this happening this way? And I don't have an answer for it.
No, it's definitely something they're going to pursue, I'm sure.
Let's see. The U.S. data comes from the CDC. This is reported outcomes among CDC patient or COVID patients of all ages by hospitalization status, underlying health conditions, and risk factor for severe outcome from respiratory infection. This is from February 12th through March 28th. Former smokers, hospitalization 2.3%. Current smokers 1.3%. And I mean, they're very small numbers because the total cases was 74,000. Former smokers was 165. Current smokers was 96. Cryptic, thank you. It says, by the way, my brother is deaf.
Oh, dude, I didn't know that.
You're going to make him feel worse. Stop it. And tell your brother to listen. That's not right. I would say tell him to watch the show with closed captioning on, but have you ever watched closed captioning on something that wasn't purposefully done where YouTube tries to do it?
Yes, and I have a series of images that I've captured off of YouTube that way. I call it bad translations, and it is outstanding.
It's absolutely beautiful. Drew, thank you. It's research done by Big Tobacco.
That would not surprise me either.
Again, this comes from the CDC.
Real quick, thank you, Pumpkin Trucker Matt. I was gonna fight COVID by sucking on the robot cock, but Como banned the vapes in New York.
Wow.
Could be a connection.
It might be.
Thank you, Pumpkin Trucker.
Now, with one or more condition, and that's a diabetes, chronic lung disease, cardiovascular disease, immunocompromised condition, chronic renal disease, pregnancy. Well, they did say condition, neurological disorder, chronic liver disease, and I can't see the other one because there's a big red box around the others. If you have one or more of these, it bumps you up quite a bit. So, again, I'm still probably in a really bad spot. But that would be really interesting if it turned out, smoking helped keep people from getting COVID.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they'll do a lot more research on that because they're looking at really anything that might work. So it could prove interesting for other diseases too if they know that this actually does happen, where nicotine creates a barrier that could work with other types of pneumonia or lung problems.
Yeah. I was sent somebody captured the stay-at-home alert from my governor from the other day. The one I told you scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Made it sound like the guys, there were 34 when we logged off last night. There had been 34 tornadoes that had ripped through Texas, Louisiana, several places. Like the alert I got sounded like there was a fucking tornado coming and I needed to duck and cover. And instead, this is what it said. From the governor's office, the state of Michigan has extended the stay-at-home, stay safe order until April 30th to save lives. Non-essential travel has been prohibited, but you can still leave for health and safety reasons, grocery and food, outdoor activities, and caring for others. For additional guidance, see blah, blah, blah. And the additional guidance is like, keep your ass at home, like people who went yesterday to their relative's house. Technically, we were in violation because my son came over. Fuck you. Absolutely fuck you. But not making any medical recommendations, just thought I'd point that out. Oh, I don't know what we're talking about there. Again, I'm not making Jesus, Jack, my mouth just stopped. I'm not making medical recommendations. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a researcher. I'm not a scientist. I'm just saying that's some interesting facts.
Yeah, it's an interesting article that came to the attention of Monkey, and we're talking about it.
It would be nice to see a bigger study on this, to see how many people who are just smokers, have none of those underlying conditions, actually were hospitalized.
Yeah, I think more of that will come out over time, but there's so much chaos right now. I don't really trust a whole lot of the information because it keeps changing so quickly. So it'll probably be a year or two before we have any real reliable numbers on anything.
B Junkie says, I'm making medical recommendations. Don't smoke. Yeah, I'm with you. Don't smoke. What? Again, this information, again, because this isn't about smoking. Like you made the joke, what is the tar keeping it close? The factor here that seems to be important isn't smoking. It's the nicotine from what they think is going on.
Yeah, which is, if it is preventative, then vaping would be the more optimal solution.
Or some nicotine gum.
Yeah.
A good nicotine patch to keep you, with your face mask, throw on a nicotine patch. Guys, I'm kidding. Don't do that without talking to a medical professional. I have to keep saying that because some people don't get our jokes.
I know. It's depressing because we're so fucking funny. And shouldn't take anything we say seriously.
Yeah, Faithless says, then why didn't the Chinese men get hit less? Well, see, that's the other part of it. We don't know. Again, when we were talking about the Chinese guys, all of those people that they talked about there were 80 or over, because that's where the majority of the deaths happen. And it happening more to men, there's a ton of reasons that could have happened. We don't know what those men did in their younger lives.
Well, and it could be related to the nicotine might be effective, but other things in the cigarettes might cancel that out.
Or they might have a lot of those other underlying conditions, except being pregnant, of course.
Well, I don't know what the men over there do because there's so many of them. But yeah, I mean, we're just discussing what the article said. So I don't know. It's interesting, but we'll have to wait and see before we get too excited, I think.
Sure. And I'm always going to tell you, listen to your doctor because they know more than I do.
Yeah, we're not doctors. God, you're stupid if you listen to our medical advice.
Don't listen to WebMD.
Oh no, you're gonna die if you read anything on WebMD. No matter what your symptoms are, you're probably on the death's door there.
Yeah. I had unprotected sex 3 weeks ago, and I haven't got my period yet. You probably have cervical cancer. Yeah.
That's pretty much how it's laid out, isn't it? Go for the worst case.
Oh my God. Well, doctors aren't much better when it comes to that, and I still haven't figured out why. Maybe they're trying to prepare you for the worst. But there's been
probably cover your ass kind of thing.
There's been several times I've gone to the doctor with something that turns out to be rather benign, and until you get the test in, they're like, "You might die from this." Like, oh fuck.
Over on the Streamlabs, thank you, Cryptic, for the donation. With this virus and the Olympics being pushed back to 2021, the Special Olympics won't need this money. Probably sitting at home anyways. Thank you, Cryptic.
Wow. He's not wrong.
No, he's not. And, but thank you.
Oh God. We're not going to go real long, guys, because I'm going to go have dinner soon. And this was just a breaking news kind of monkey in the morning situation. And for those of you who missed it early on, Bernie Sanders has come out and endorsed Joseph Biden. Bernard and Joseph together. Do you think you just got it, didn't you?
Yeah.
Do you think he supported him because he's Joseph? Joseph Stalin reincarnated?
That's not exactly where I was going, but that's a very good point. My thought was maybe Biden has been sniffing Sanders' hair this whole time and is mind controlling him with his vampire powers, because that's why Bernie's hair looks like he combs it with a balloon.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Because it's been sniffed already, and he's like, "Haha, my servitor! Now you shall go out and endorse me."
I was thinking more along the Joseph thing. Maybe he was thinking, he's going to teach people to read. I got a donation over on Streamlabs. My Streamlabs has decided to run really, really slow for this moment. So as soon as it comes up, I will get there. Ooh, goodness. I almost missed that. You almost got a huge sneeze in your ear. Biden was 10 when Stalin died. We don't need hate facts around here.
Don't ruin the joke with facts.
Speaking of which, I do want to talk about that comment we got, because that is among my favorite comments I've ever heard.
Yeah, real quick. Faithless called him Joe Floby. That's awesome.
Pumpkin Trucker Matt, thank you so much. He says, "Dear Andrew Cuomo, in the interest of public health, you must lift your ban on vapes and suspend any taxes on tobacco, unless you want people to die." Exactly. Yeah. How you like me now? We got a comment on, I don't think it was the last one. I think it was the one before that. I said, "You and Jack are a welcome source of shameless, matter-of-fact nonsense." I appreciate the compliment, sir.
I have never heard a more succinct way of describing this show.
It's like, oh my God. Yeah, it's like you actually watched and paid attention. I still can't believe Stalin died the same year as Julius and Ethel Rosenberg. I can. Kind of a fitting end.
Yeah.
Bernie supporters, I realize that you're probably having a rough time right now. And when you're not feeling well, one thing you can do to help yourself feel better is to give. And we will take your money.
And give you nothing, just like communism.
Yeah, exactly. You will get nothing for it.
Yeah.
I will go out and buy bread with some of it.
Yeah.
Does that mean Biden won't drop out, forgetting that Sanders did? Probably not. Somebody will probably keep him from doing that. It is wonderful if you watch those videos. There's like a half-hour video about this that you can watch them talking together, and Bernie supports him. And there's so many times where Biden just doesn't look like he even knows where he's there or that he's there.
Yeah.
If you watch the second video I showed, the one of Bernie actually doing the endorsement, Biden, he does not seem like he realizes he's there. And then his comments right after that, wow, just wow. Like, motherfucker, you really don't know where you are, do you?
He looks really confused. And honestly, like we've been saying for a while, I think the guy's got something wrong. And he clearly needs to just retire and live the rest of his life in a peaceful, calm way, not under the lights of the press all the time. That is not going to help him at all. This is cruel.
I was fucking with people because I want to go. I have to say this every time so that people don't get the wrong impression. I think the bitch is lying about Biden. I really do. But holding people to their standards, you Democrats should hate this man. And I've been fucking with Bernie supporters about how he threw his support behind the guy who actually did grab somebody by the pussy. They get mad. They get real mad. Like, hey, it's just an accusation. And my favorite one, what about all the accusations against Trump? Like, that shouldn't matter, should it? Is that what it is? It has come down to how many times it's been done?
I think that it's one of those things they can't see their own, the faults of their own people. You know, it's different because it's somebody I like situation.
Yeah, I mean, I get lesser of two evils, maybe. He's only done it once where they think Trump has done it a lot.
I guess a lot of that's Trump derangement syndrome, though.
But that's what it all is. But it's funny, man. It's funny. Pat says they get mad because their hypocrisy gets exposed. Do you follow Razor Fist on Twitter?
No. Every now and then I'll see something he said retweeted. That's about it.
He's right now upsetting people talking about Bill Cosby, and Michelle Chatmort got my attention to it, but I'd read it last night. I appreciate when people bring my attention to things like this because I miss a lot of stuff, but that one I'd already read. And he's going over the case against Bill Cosby. And there's a lot of dirty shit that's in there.
Oh, yeah.
Shit that I didn't know about. My whole thing with Cosby is the accusation or the evidence that pretty much did him in is he was asked in a deposition if he procured quaaludes intending to have sex with women.
Yeah,
Now,
that's different than saying, like, I got this to do nefarious things.
Yes. And he answers that question, yes. And in the press, this comes out and they're like, oh my God, he said he got quaaludes to have sex with women. And they presented it as though he was slipping these into women's drinks without their knowledge. We're talking about the 1970s. If you guys are in any way curious about this, watch the movie Wolf of Wall Street. They do a pretty good job of explaining how much this drug was abused back then.
Yeah.
And how many people wanted it.
It was a party drug, like cocaine was in the 80s and ecstasy was in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess Molly is still a big deal nowadays, but yeah, it was a party drug. People used it to enhance their sexual experience. It may not have been the best idea, but people did that. And I think that's what a lot of people forget. You're right.
Well, and there's also the fact that at the time, Bill Cosby was one of the bigger movers and shakers in Hollywood in the 70s and in the 80s, because the 80s is when we get the Cosby Show and all that. Yeah. But it's not like that's where he first got famous. He had a show called The Bill Cosby Show before that.
Yeah. Yeah.
He Fat Albert and what was the one he was on with the white guy? Oh shit. He was on another series. Anyway, so he has all of these things. The idea that women wouldn't try to get close to him specifically to help their career and be like, yeah, fuck it, I'll get high and have sex with you.
It was I Spy.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was like in the 60s too. But
Mm-hmm.
he also did stand up. He was a huge stand-up star.
Yep.
And in the 70s, he was on one of the kids shows on PBS where he had the bead pen that would write.
Oh yeah.
I forget what it was called. But yeah, he was a huge celebrity.
And yeah, there were a lot of women who have careers because very much Weinstein-esque.
Yeah, it was a casting couch thing. Exactly, the third turd.
but knew what they were doing. And this takes all of the agency from the women. And the reason this even, I noticed this last night is because an article was posted. Razor Fist is the one that posted that little clip that we talked about last night.
Picture pages. Thank you, Advocate.
Yeah. And this little clip, I had never even seen it. The one chick, Dickinson, what's her name?
Janice Dickinson.
Janice Dickinson admitted on the stand that she had lied in her book about what had happened, but trust her while she's on the stand. And that was like, what the fuck? And then I read through the rest of the tweet and I'm like, oh wow, I didn't even know most of this shit about the DA and the DA specifically running on we're gonna get Cosby. That is fucking prejudicial as fuck. That person should have had nothing to do with this case ever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but they brought it up because Michelle brought it up to me because she's heard me talk about the Cosby thing before, where I don't know if Cosby has ever done anything wrong.
I don't know, because there's so much information out there that's half truths or a lie or misleading or exaggerated. We'll never know the truth now.
Sure. But one thing you can look at the case and see is he was absolutely railroaded in the press. He certainly seems to have been railroaded in the legal system. That doesn't mean he never did anything wrong. He never slipped a lewd into somebody's drink that was like, no, I really don't want to. But I don't see the evidence of him absolutely doing it either. Some of the women retracted. Yeah, it's amazing how that happens.
Yeah. Faithless said, how many were regret sex? Between regret sex and grandstanding for attention, who knows? It could be quite a few of them. And honestly, if he really did force someone, we're never going to know because there's so many people that are just unreliable. It's frustrating because this is the type of stuff that you can ruin someone's life with just a mere accusation. That's horrible.
Yeah, it sucks that rape is the kind of crime that it is. It really does, because so many times it comes down to he said, she said. And that sucks. It really does.
Yeah, and it's awful. It's a horrible thing. I've worked with victims, and it's life-altering, and it can be very, very damaging, and that's not anything I would wish on anyone.
But, God damn it. So you're saying he may have given some women unwanted pudding pops. Stop it.
But it's a curious way to describe it, but yes, you're not wrong.
One of my favorite memes is a picture of Bill Cosby. It says, I love putting my dick where it doesn't belong.
Yeah, I remember that one.
That is just, I still laugh at that anytime I see it. Drew, thank you. Cosby came out against black communities. He didn't come out against black communities. He came out against ignorant culture. He came out, and you know what? You're not real wrong about that, because Cosby's beloved, and then he starts looking like he might be a little bit conservative, and he does. He comes out and he's like, "Pull up your pants, learn to read, speak properly," and like, oh, he's against black people. Like, no, he's actually for them if you pay attention. But I thank you for the donation. I understand what you meant there. But yeah, it's amazing how that happened, and then all of a sudden this just blew up.
Yeah.
Pinkala says Cosby openly talked about it in his routines about drugging women. I'd have to see those. But anyway, I think that the man got railroaded by the system. Even if he's guilty, I don't think that that the way that this happened was proper. Press briefing on now. Bye, guys. See you later, Sean. Enjoy it. I'm not going to be watching this one. Dinner will be ready here in a few minutes, and I'm going to go hang out with the missus because she's pretty. She's prettier than you, Jack. I'm sure you're a beautiful man, but
I'm not that beautiful.
Look up Spanish Fly. Man, people were all making jokes about Spanish Fly back then.
Yeah, that was real common. Even like, wasn't Flip Wilson making jokes about stuff like that back then?
Yeah, that's not the same as. I get what you're going for there. But Spanish fly is also not Quaaludes. Spanish fly was this mythical thing that you could go down to Mexico and get and drug women into wanting to have sex.
It was an aphrodisiac to arouse people
Yeah.
more than anything. Yeah, it's not even real.
It's like saying, if you look, guys, if you really want to get her horny and on you, just make sure you feed her a bunch of it's not clams. What is it?
Oysters.
Yeah, oysters. Yeah, she'll be all over that dick. There's a difference from that, and I drop shit in their drinks without them knowing it. That's a drug known to make people lose their shit. But with that, Jack, I am gonna end this one. We've gone an hour, man. We've done 5 hours of streams today.
We're pretty awesome.
We are. Don't forget, if you're listening in the not post-mortem, Blue Balls Oyster.
Sorry.
New Ranting Monkey drinking game. Drink on, you're not wrong. Do I say that often? Probably. But what's this? I've been listening to a lot of old Cosby bits, and I keep catching little drops of him doing it. Lewds. Well, again, he flat out admitted he did lewds. He had a prescription for it. This is what people used to do. Mike says, "Are you streamed out?" No, I just I have other things to do. Don't forget, guys. Not Ghost Poo. It's AAA now. They're on right now, guys. Go support them. They're over on Drunkle's channel right now. Go watch it. It's some. Is it Drunkle's channel today?
I don't know.
It's either Drunkle or Ghastly's channel. Go find them. You'll find it. But thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out. If you're listening to this later, don't forget you can still donate to the Monkey thinks they should have coloring books, and Jack thinks they should have crayon funds. Those are both linked below. Thank you for the donations you guys did give us. You guys are so fucking generous. I really, really do appreciate it. Anything you want to shill, Jack?
I'll throw a link to my latest video in, and thank you guys for the donations. It really is awesome. We do appreciate it.
Yeah, we really do. We really do. Money's the best aphrodisiac. James, you're not wrong, man. Diamonds will work too. Diamonds will work too. We'll be over on Satsu 2 Senses channel here in a couple of hours for Lords of the Night, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Pinkala, thank you so much. Noah, I'm not sure what that means, but I appreciate it. After that, we'll be on 2 Cents Plus for Green Hell. We've been having a lot of fun with that, and Stunlock Joe joined us last night and will be with us again tonight
Nice.
if he can. He's a great guy, and we've gamed with him before, and it's nice to have him back. So, guys, check that stuff out. Monkey in the Morning will be so check us out when we're on then. Everybody, thank you for coming. Jack, a pleasure as always, my friend. Everyone, enjoy your day. See you next time.
Bye.
Bill Cosby.